Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I did not want to leave y'all. I hope this is halfway decent because the internet here is not ideal. It's not the best. I'm at the Holiday Inn Express, and it's fine for general web browsing. Probably not great for live streaming, but we're going to give it a try anyway. What's happening in California, DTF? So, let's chat. I hope you guys dig the dark room vibes. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. Oh nope, it's locking up. Dang it! Oh, here we go. All right, and go up. Perfect. Okay, so what am I doing? I am. Why didn't I broadcast this morning? Let's start with that. Actually, first let's start with where I'm at. I'm in New Jersey. I have had got three profiling jobs this week, coming straight off of being in Florida for a couple days. So I note to future Jeremy, don't do this many jobs back to back or close to back to back. I was only home for like a day and some change. So yeah, it was a bit much. Anyway, so why did I not broadcast this morning? Well, I was in someone's shop, and I generally or oftentimes am going to try to stream from people's shops when I'm in their shops on a Monday. But this particular shop was on the struggle bus. They brought me out for sure to do the profiling stuff, but they were also on the struggle bus for just print issues. So I kind of knew I was coming out to um, both color profile as well as do some troubleshooting stuff. So when I got there, we had some pretty big issues um, just right off the bat. I think if I had gotten there like the last place I was at in Florida, his machine was running just like a champ. So it was super easy to get in there and do all the profiling. So yeah, definitely this shop I had to spend the first bit fighting with the machine quite a bit. And it's not necessarily the machine's fault. It's just the nature of DTF and the way that our current stuff works. Okay, sorry. I was kind of dying not looking at the comments. So let's see. We got a question. By the way, if you are watching and this didn't stop tracking me, or is it going to track me? It is tracking me. That's hilarious. Um, if you are watching and you have questions, hit me up in the chat. I'll answer any questions you guys got, including why Jeremy's being weird and doing DTF After Dark, because it's just weird. Okay. Can Flexi or Stamper run two machines from the same computer? So I don't know about Flexi because I don't work a lot with Flexi. Um, Neo Stampa, not really, but sort of. Same thing with Digital Factory. Um, Honestly, like if you're printing directly from the rip, it's probably not going to work too great. But if you are printing to a file like a PRN or a PRT, technically you can get away with printing on multiple machines. You would just have a profile built for each machine, and then you would send them that way. So, yes, technically you can um, run multiple machines off of one license, though generally it's not really recommended because it just gets a little clunky. And depending on your workflow, there's a shop I'm going to soon that does do just one license on multiple printers, but because they build all their PRNs at the kind of there's one person in charge of building all the gang sheet PRNs, and then the printer operator's job is literally just to print the file that comes in the PRN. So yeah, so I hope that answers that question. Yeah, so one of the big things fighting with my camera. There we go. One of the big things that I think I'm kind of processing through after my G7 class is this idea of a stable system. Um, that's one of the core like things is before you go into profile a printer, you got to stabilize the system. And in the case of DTF, it's more than just a printer. DTF is a full system, right? Like you're not just, it doesn't just print and then you call it a day. It's the printing, it's the powdering, it's the curing, it's the pressing. There's like a whole bunch of steps to it. So it's much more of like a system than it is just a printer. And I think that we get so hung up on just trying to make the printer behave that we don't think about the whole like system of it all, like how it's working in the environment that it's working in. Like we talk all the time about it being critical that our humidity is 40 to 60% and temp is 70, 75 degrees. It is insanely critical that it's in that window. And I'm also starting to believe that we need to do a better job of keeping our shop area clean where that printer is. I think that there are, when you go into shops that are dirty or clean, you can kind of tell a difference in the way the printer's running. I've been in enough shops now that the really clean ones, they tend to work really good. And the really messy shops, the printer tends to work kind of messy. I also had another big one that I've been thinking about a lot. I've been thinking about the power. Like I don't know, obviously I don't have like oscilloscopes and stuff like that to test, but I would venture to guess that there's a lot of electronic noise from these circuit boards that run a lot of our printers, a lot of the DTF printers. And I wonder if there's a way to stabilize that. Now, like at home, I have the DTF station printer, which isn't misbehaving at all for me. Like it seems to be running pretty well. So I don't know that I really have the ability to test this idea. But let's back up. I'm going to tell you a little history story. So I used to own a home theater installation business, and one of the ways that you got your audio equipment and your video equipment to work better was to put all of your equipment on a power conditioner. And some people definitely thought they was just like a salesy gimmick, but I know from experience that the sound was better, the visual quality was better, and especially when it was something that was a higher fidelity, like a better quality speaker, a better quality amplifier, it made a big difference when it was on a power conditioner. So that got me thinking about like this, as I was thinking about this whole idea of stabilizing the system. I wonder how much of the weird behaviors we get, like if you guys have done nozzle checks, you get the weird squiggly lines or stuff just like not behaving quite right. I wonder how much of it is electronic noise, whether it's from the power coming in or from the boards themselves. I wonder how much of that electronic noise is causing like misbehaving. Now I have some power. I have a power conditioner or two at my house, and I kind of want to test it, but I don't know how to test it to find out like if it's actually doing something. So I don't know. I'm going to probably enlist you guys again if you have available to you a power conditioner. And basically what a power conditioner is, not surge protector. Surge protectors just help from sudden spikes in power. A power conditioner literally evens everything out that's coming in. So you're not getting big spikes and you're not getting dips. It kind of evens out the power that's coming in to your system. So I'm wondering how much that would change the behavior or the somewhat what sometimes feels like erratic behavior. Because that's the one thing I have noticed about like working with the Mamaki printers and the Roland printers is that they just seem to work a little smoother. And I wonder how much of that is just electronic noise or lack thereof from like the circuit boards. Again, I don't have a way to really test the noise that comes off of those circuit boards, but it just had me thinking. So, and this is what happens. I start thinking of an idea and I start going down these rabbit trails and I start losing my marbles. Um, because I just think, I'm like, oh, well, might this affect this or that affect that? So yeah, so I think that we need to look a little differently at stabilizing our print system, um, more than just humidity and temp. I think it needs to be humidity and temp. I think you need to be having a cleaner environment for that printer because it is electronics and they can be finicky when dust or debris or things like that get into their systems. Um, but I think we also need to be considering looking at our power. Now, obviously, a lot of the home grown, the people that are working in their closet, their bedroom, extra bedroom, or whatever, they're not going to probably spend the money on a big power conditioner. But you can actually get power conditioners like for home theater stuff pretty inexpensively, like a couple $100. It's not terrible. But yeah, I think that things might behave a little differently. So I'm gonna see if there's anything to that, whether it's some testing that I can figure out how to do, or one of you all out there decides to go and test this weird idea. But yeah, so feel free to ask questions, guys, if you want to. Again, I appreciate DTF Station. They are the sponsor, always the sponsor. And good Lord, I have none of my normal things are in here. There it is. DTF Station is a sponsor of this channel, these live streams. They are passionate about the education piece of it. And I'll let you guys know my experience currently with my Prestige R2 Pro. I've been using it. I've been neglecting it pretty substantially. I go out of town a lot right now. And I come back home and I do like a short load ink, like literally like only 10-second load ink, and a cleaning and a nozzle check, and it's printing like a freaking champ. So I am very stoked. I was always worried a little bit about a printer with how much I travel and how little I print, because honestly, like I was even home for a day and I printed like 2 small sections of something for a video. That's all I printed. Yeah, huge shout out to DTF Station. Love the Prestige R2 Pro. I kind of knew I would love it. That's why I picked it. But I've definitely become even more of a fan of it. So if you are looking for a stable printer that works right out of the box with Neo Stampa, I love Neo Stampa. Yeah, reach out to one of their dealers. You can go to dtfstation.com and they have a list of dealers. Even if you're watching in other parts of the world, they actually have a section for their global dealers. And I was looking on there the other day, and there are dealers in Poland and like all over the place. I specifically clicked on Poland. That's why I'm mentioning it. Yeah, so if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. If you want to know what I've been up to, what I've got coming up, I'm actually really stoked to be working with Jim Raffle and Color Casters. They are another color consulting company. Jim is a G7 expert and trainer, and he's got a big project he's working on that he wants my help on. So I'm pretty stoked to be working with them. They're stoked to be working with me because of my experience with DTF, and I'm stoked to work with him and his partner Shelby because of their experience with color profiling. I've got some thoughts about it. Really taking the G7 class, really got my brain churning about some ideas for stability in color, and so I'm still working out some of those things. Hold on one second. I'm seeing some stuff on TikTok. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So yeah, no, just thinking more about that, about ways to stabilize systems and to make sure we get consistent and repeatable results, I think, is a big thing going forward. So I'm thinking through some processes, thinking through some like workflows that, like, when I go out and profile a machine, let's say you have to change a print head. That's going to change the way the profile behaves because it changes the way it's laying down ink and will change your linearization or your curves. And I think there's going to be a way, and I got to figure out exactly how to do it, where we can basically just verify if it needs to change, and then we just change that curve setting, and if we change that curve setting or that linearization to a certain specification, we can get it to print like it did before that print head change. Also, if we have other machines, we can potentially get all of them to print based off of that linearization or that curves adjustment. And so when you add a machine or change something, you can recalibrate that. Also, maybe just as part of like a yearly checkup, you print up those test files to verify your printer is still printing within that range. Obviously we're not pushing for like the G7 certification, but something in that vein, but with DTF. I agree. Low current can be a much bigger issue than too much power. That's why I think that it's a power conditioner could be a big deal, a bit of a game changer. But I'm not sure how to test that yet. And it looked like that was probably a pretty delayed comment because my YouTube is probably struggling because the internet here, it be rough. So yeah. Again, if you guys have any questions about what I'm up to, about what I'm doing here, let's see. Some folks joined over on the TikTok that are followers on my Instagram. Hi, Ali, if you're still on. So yeah, I think that about wraps up. I really didn't want to miss a Monday live stream. I love doing this. I know it's a weird time tonight and probably not ideal for a big audience, but I kind of wanted to keep the streak going. I wanted to keep the Monday streak going. As again, depending on the shops I'm in, I will be in a shop in 2 Mondays. And depending on where I'm at there, I may or may not broadcast, but we'll just have to see. I'm still just kind of winging it and playing it by ear. This is all new stuff. I tell you what, this travel's no joke. And the drivers in New York, they be crazy. They're crazy. And it's been rain. In Florida, it poured like so heavy I couldn't see the cars in front of me. I was going like 10 miles an hour on the freeway. And then it was raining again today here in New Jersey and New York. So I don't know, rain's following me around on the East Coast. So anyway, if you guys got any questions, please ask them. We're happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up pretty quick because I did get in late last night and only got like 5 hours of sleep. So your boy's tired, and I got 2 more days of profiling. The shop I'm going to the next 2 days, we're calibrating and matching 2 printers together. So I did that in Tennessee a few weeks ago. So this is the second opportunity I've had to really kind of like double verify that skill set. I know I can do it. It's just a matter of how tough is it going to be. Well, I could send you a quote, but I can also just tell you right now. So when I'm traveling, my rate is for like 1 day. So if you want me to just come out and profile your machine or come out and do a day training or something like that, it's $2,500. That covers all of the travel and kind of my day rate. If you want me to come out and install a brand new printer and train you on it and all that kind of stuff, that's a 2-day process, and that's $3,500. That's pretty much my standard fee right now. I know for some folks it's a little bit too high, and I definitely feel you on that. So California DTF, please drop me an email. if you are interested or what you're looking for exactly, and we can work something out. Obviously, California is a little bit easier to get to because I'm not traveling 3 time zones. I have like major time zone whiplash right now. But yeah, shoot me an email. Yeah, like I said, I know that pricing is a little high for some folks. I get that. I feel you. At the same time, it's also, well, I think it's worth it, obviously. But the folks that have had me come out will definitely say it's worth it because we're able to optimize, get things working a little bit better. You're not doing as many reprints. You're not doing as many like whoopsies for customers and stuff like that. And I definitely feel for you guys that some of you that it's a little bit too high. That's one of the reasons I have been working with like grouping jobs together. So the place I was at today in Queens, New York, that shop and the one I'm going to tomorrow split the travel costs. And so that's one of the things I've been doing is if you get a couple shops in your area, like within a reasonable distance, you can partner up and yes, we did. So I didn't know. I should have put 2 and 2 together. Yep. I know. I need to get it over to you. Where was I? Oh yeah. So you can get a couple people partner together. So if like, let's say you've got a couple people in a metro area and you each have one printer and you guys split the 3 shops. So it'd be over 3 days, but you split that $1,500 travel cost. Each shop's paying $500. So each shop will pay $1,500 to have me come out and do the profile, and that's getting those 3 shops together. You get 4 shops together, or I can't do math right now. If you get 5 shops, then everybody's only paying $300 a piece. So that's kind of how I'm doing it to try to reduce costs a little bit. Like I said, I recognize you guys are on budgets and stuff like that, and I definitely hear you. But I'm also like busy. Like I've got a lot. I'm going to be home for a couple days, and then I'm going to be in Anaheim for 3 days, and then I'm going to be flying back to Florida, and I'm going to be in Florida for like 5 days, 5 or 6 days, and then I'm back home, and then hopefully I'll be in Houston doing some ink tests and things like that. Yeah, so lots of travel. Oh, and then I'm going to cram in as much work as I can in the beginning of August, because at the end of August, after my wife and I drop my daughter off at college, we're going to Cozumel for a little vacation. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been wanting to do this for like 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. Like shortly after I started at DTF Superstore, I had the idea of wondering if I could DTF a wetsuit. And I'm going to do it. So I'm going to bring back the Will It DTF series. And I don't know if I'm going to start with the wetsuit, but one of the first ones is going to be a wetsuit. I'm going to DTF on a wetsuit, and then I'm going to go snorkeling in it, and I'm hopefully going to go scuba diving in it. So I'm finally going to get to test. Anybody who's ever been to my boot camps knows that I've been talking about this for a while, about DTFing a wetsuit. So, all right. Well, I think that's about it. California DTF, thank you for watching. I will get you something. I promise. As soon as I can. Yeah. I think that's gonna wrap it up, y'all. Okay. I've tried to wrap it up this once or twice already. Thank you again so much for watching this weird episode of Color Gamut Consulting's live stream, DTF After Dark. It's only because it's late at night. 10:30 on the East Coast right now. So yeah, appreciate y'all. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Oh, video coming out Wednesday is the next video on the hierarchy of softness, talking about white underbase and how to optimize your white underbase. So check it out and let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you later. Bye.